Yo! Video games.
What up, dudes, and welcome back to the YoVideogames podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Andrew.
And once again, thank you to all generous patrons who've kept us going for over 400 episodes.
Yeah, if you're interested in becoming a patron at any level, please check out patreon.com/YoVideogames podcast. Due to the week is Windy City Kid.
Thank you, Windy City Kid.
The man from Chicago.
The man from Chicago. No, he's from Gary, Indiana. That's the Windy City, right? No.
What does every city have like a nickname? Like, I mean, obviously Los Angeles, City of Angels.
That's not a nickname. This is his name.
Yeah, that's just its fucking name. But like, Chicago, the Windy City.
San Diego's a whale's vagina.
Yeah.
Well, that's only because of Anchorman.
San Francisco, I think, means the heroin needle. And all right.
Bakersfield's the armpit.
Bakersfield is the armpit. Fresno is French for you don't want to go there. I know a lot of people from Fresno. None of them.
All right, so now so this has become a dunking on the cities of America. Guess what? They all suck. Florida sucks too. Florida's like a sweaty condom or jockstrap. Jockstrap more appropriately.
There's a lot of cities that I like.
But if you want your junk to not end up smelling like a sweaty jockstrap, we've got the perfect sponsor for you.
Of course, we're talking about Manscaped. And our current favorite product by Manscaped is the Beard Hedger Pro. Namely because you can adjust, with using this dial, you can adjust the guard on the fly so that you can easily fade things like your sideburns, or like you could do a goatee if you want to be an asshole, very easily. But the thing that got us kind of into their product line is, of course, the famous Lawnmower 4.0. And I mean, it's got a flashlight. It holds a charge forever. It's waterproof. It's very unlikely to nick your chain. I have had no nicks with this thing yet.
That is true. I have, on all my uses of the Lawnmower 4.0, I have never nicked my nuts.
Not one time.
Not once.
I don't. Have you ever used it other places, or only on the junk?
Oh, the lawnmower? No.
Yeah.
I have.
I have used the beard. Yeah, I've used the Beard Hedger on like chest hair.
Mm-hmm. Correct. And it works.
Fucking great.
Ta-da! Yeah. It's multi-purpose.
If you're like me,
Beard Hedger is very sharp, so do be careful with this one. The lawnmower is nice and gentle, for getting all those sensitive spots. The Beard Hedger is pro grade stuff. It is meant to whack some weeds, whack some facial trees. So yeah, and then of course, like I said, if you don't want your jock strap to smell like a swamp, they've got the crop preserver in the actually I'm blanking because it's crop preserver and crop reviver.
Crop reviver is the spray.
Reviver is a spray-on deodorant, and crop preserver is a lotion deodorant for your balls. It'll keep them smelling.
Crop mop, which is a white
mop. Keep your junk smelling real good after that big sweaty gym workout.
I'm just saying, you're taking somebody to a club, and maybe you're thinking you're going to get lucky later. Having a crop mop in your pocket isn't the worst idea.
Yeah,
okay. They've got a whole line of literally covering your balls.
Yep. And, with the Beard Hedger covering your chinny chin chin.
Actually, though, one thing that the Beard Hedger is really great for, if you're like me and you get that patch of back hair right down here, connects here.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's fucking magical. But
if you could probably use it on your head, not that you'd need to, but, they do have shampoo and conditioner again, not that you'd need to use it.
How dare you? I use shampoo and conditioner. You got to take care of your scalp, okay?
But Manscaped has it all, crown to crotch.
Crown to crotch, tip to taint. If you're wanting to check out any of their products, please head over to manscaped.com. Use our code YoVG, all caps, for 20% off and free shipping worldwide. That's code YoVG, all caps, at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping worldwide. Your balls will thank you.
Indeed.
So today, not talking about Troy's butthole.
No, we're not talking about Troy Baker's butthole, but
we are talking about things that overshadow
I could have gone. There's plenty of crazy, wild, negative shit we could have talked about. And I was just kind of like, you know what? Let's have a fucking nice episode. Let's have an optimistic episode. Okay. We'll go right back to the cynicism next time, mate. Well, not next time, because we have a birthday stream next time, but
Birthday.
Indeed. So I thought, let's be optimistic right now. We're over halfway through the year, but July, August were pretty good months, but they're usually pretty light as far as game release. Not necessarily true this year necessarily, but there's an avalanche coming in September, October. Like why October, I'll never know. And then there's even starting to be a handful of things in November now. I don't know if you saw.
And
It's
December.
not exactly good news, but the Alone in the Dark game with David Harbour got delayed to January today.
Oh, I did not see that.
They tweeted out literally like it's too fucking crowded. That was just they publicly stated it's too fucking crowded and we're gonna get overshadowed. We're moving it to January.
No, that's so honest. I love that. One thing. So today, Starfield released, and even though it seems like it released 5 days ago or a week ago, because
But
everybody's
it had the premium release, right?
right. And I decided to do it. I decided to do the premium release because I literally everything on every bit of social media was about it, and I felt like I'm actually gonna get shit ruined. Like I'm not gonna want to play it by the time it actually comes out. So I went for it. I did it. I knew I was gonna want to play it, even though I had Game Pass. I did the upgrade to premium so that I could play it, and I'm liking it.
I heard
like
if you
Bethesda
have Game
games-
Pass, because here's the thing. I swear I wasn't gonna make this negative. Isn't it kind of a lie when they're like, play it day one on Game Pass, but if you buy the extra edition, the extra digital deluxe super duper edition, you can play it a week early.
Yes.
That's not day one, is it?
Yeah,
Because you're
no,
not. It's not early access. It's not a beta. It's you could just play the finished game early if you buy. That's not day one on Game Pass, is it now?
yeah, I got complaints. That made me mad.
I did hear that Game Pass people did get a discount.
Yes.
So you could get it for 30 if you wanted to. But I'm like, that's still not whatever. I mean, as of the release timing of this podcast, it'll be out for everyone. It'll be
Right.
on Game Pass. But I'm just saying that's kind of a fucking lie, Phil.
And here's the thing. If you can somehow ignore everybody on Twitter and everything like that and TikTok and shit, I think especially if you like Bethesda games, you're going to really enjoy the game. And I would say it's worth the full purchase price.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got it on Game Pass, you're really going to enjoy the game because I'm like 20 some odd hours in, and I've done so they have side quest storylines that start
Yeah.
out seemingly minimal, and then they balloon into this
balloon. Yeah.
you're in this world ending fucking
you're not the first person to tell me this, actually.
It's a lot of fun. It's really fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
And even the side quests feel like they have some sort of stakes.
Mm-hmm.
At least those ones, the ones that balloon into they've got one where you go undercover with space pirates.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil anything, but the ship combat, once you get good at ship combat can be real fun, real satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
You
haven't had anything spoiled for you plot wise for the main campaign, have you?
No, I've avoided it pretty well.
Good, thank you. We won't talk about it here either.
Yeah, no, I don't want to spoil. I've gotten fairly far into the main story, but I've somehow avoided it. I'm happy with that. I don't typically care about spoilers. Mm-hmm. I just knew I was really gonna want to play the shit out of this game, and so I was like,
and look. Here's the thing. I would just use the book. There's the game who gives a shit. You know what? It's kind of cool, and I think people should have that experience if they can.
Oh, dude! This is the least amount of. I think I've run into one bug.
Yeah,
least amount of bugs in a Bethesda game that I've ever had, ever. I had one instance where my following character got trapped in an airlock in the middle of a gunfight, and then so just spawned like that Leonardo da Vinci spread eagle floating through the air, shooting bullets out of her tits. And she was just like dead-eyed, just floating through the sky, just like murdering everything. That's the only bug I've had, and it was great.
Like it turned into like a No More Heroes game or something.
It was like what is the Raised by Wolves? It's like that character in Raised by Wolves that just flies like that and shoots everything. Like amazing. Some of the bugs that I've seen online where people are all like, this is the worst thing ever, where it's like a character has a broken neck and they're just like walking around and their head's just following you wherever you go.
So I've heard from bugs from people who've played the game, and like they're mostly funny.
Yeah.
They're not like game breaking necessarily. I'm sure they
Right.
exist, but like most of the bugs I've heard about are kind of entertaining sounding.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any like
Which
real
is not
trouble.
excusable, but at least it's better. If it was between the two, I'll go for the funny.
I did see one where someone's skip pack broke, so it was just like constantly going.
Mm.
So like they couldn't land. They had to, and you can't fast travel while jumping. So they had to just like guide themselves to a cliff to stop the skip pack. Like that's awesome. And skip packing is it's very fun. I like
Yeah.
I don't walk anywhere if I don't have to. But anyway, that's my very short fucking Starfield review. You will like it if you like Bethesda game. If you like Bethesda games, you're gonna love it. It's like it's one of the better ones they've ever made, in my opinion, so far.
Of like
If you-
core Bethesda
Yeah.
developed, not like id or someone else, like
right, yeah, no,
Bethesda proper.
right, yeah. It's not like Fallout New Vegas that has all that
Like
style
this
and
made by
humor.
Obsidian and is
Right.
different, and yeah.
No, this is like if you like Bethesda games, like made by Bethesda, you'll
I
like this.
heard there's a place called Neon City in this game, and it
Mhm.
looks more cyberpunk than cyberpunk.
I wouldn't say it looks. I mean, Night City now and the updates and stuff is really cyberpunk, but yes, Neon City is very much like a
And
Bethesda
I saw
cyberpunk.
a tiny clip of it, and I'm like, I see why people say that,
Yeah,
but I don't. I think people are getting a little ahead of themselves a bit, because I'm like, it's still very futuristic, like
right.
space futuristic. I'm like, the game that is the most cyberpunk-ish is, to me, still Stray. Like it misses that sort of like
Old
dirty,
worn.
dirty, old gritty thing. Because like you can get that in space or whatever, but like cyberpunk to me needs to have an element of Kowloon walled city to it to like
Yeah, it
really
has to have grime.
grime. It has to have
Mhm.
like a real earthy grime. Like this was Earth at one point, kind of thing.
In some ways, I was trying to figure out how to like describe the aesthetic to Elise, my wife, and I called it like NASA chic or NASA punk or something like
Right,
that.
and I believe Bethesda's used a term like like it's NASA. I don't want to say they didn't call it NASA porn, but they said like it's NASA. Maybe it was NASA punk. They were talking about how like their whole design philosophy for the game was like NASA weeby. You
Right.
know.
And they fucking achieved. It has this very like so if you buy fancier ships, because the ship you start with, everyone calls it like a dinosaur, it calls it like
Yeah.
super old, and it's got like you got to adjust the monitors and stuff to get behind the cockpit, and everything feels very analog. And then as you get fancier ships, things get more digital,
Yeah.
but it still has this like lived in feel. Like if you buy a brand new ship, it's much fancier and cleaner than the
Yeah.
Discovery, but it still has this like people actually using this in space type thing. Um, I the thing that I find sort of the coolest is how they go out of their way to have like realistic airlocks. Like airlocks that cycle and you have to like close one door to open the other one, and like the mechanisms for the airlock doors feel very grounded. I don't know if they would actually work that way, but they feel like they would work that way. I don't know why I like that a lot. Um and then like the suits all feel like the different types of suits and helmets and stuff that you can get they all feel realistic to what you would have to wear
Mhm.
and use and shit like that. And again, I mean, I'm sure there's like an astronaut out there like this is the dumbest shit, but it feels right.
I remember there was a GQ video or something, or like a real astronaut NASA scientist watched that was it that Matt Damon Stuck on Mars, Castaway on Mars movie.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. I know
I
what
don't
you're
remember.
talking about.
I don't remember
Shit.
what it's called. And he said, like, there's two things that are really unrealistic about this movie. He's like, one is the storm, which they kind of address, like, there's no wind gusts like that on Mars. And he said the other thing that this movie, and they even said how they basically consciously knew it, but they had to sacrifice it for cinematography, was that the suit. Like,
Yeah.
where's the fucking oxygen tank? And he's like, it looks cool, but where the fuck is all the like, the life support systems? Like,
The insulation and the oxygen tank.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like, that's the most kind of the really like, that's like the worst part about it was just like, yeah, you get these futuristic astronaut suits, and it's like you still need to have like a big thing for air,
Yeah, you
or
gotta have that big ass backpack, and like the suit has to be super thick to stop like
yeah,
excess radiation and
right.
heat
And he's like, well, there's
loss.
like radiation or whatever. And if you're in a spacewalk, like, and a thing is, a pebble flies by, it's gonna like go right through you, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, it's still like one of those things that, like,
The
yeah,
Martian.
The Martian, that's what it
Yeah,
was. Yeah, self movie. Um, Going back here, here's the official announcement. For Alone in the Dark, horror games thrive on the eerie embrace of solitude, something that is impossible to achieve in a gaming month as busy as October. To ensure a breathtaking experience for everyone, we have made the decision to move the release to January 16th.
yeah. That
It's
makes
like,
sense.
it's too crowded. Fuck it. I was like, good on them.
I mean, if we just Google uh release October 2023, like there's
Too many
probably
games. Because I mean, you got Mario Wonder, you got Sonic Superstars, you got Alan Wake 2, you got Spider-Man 2.
yeah,
Call of
Detective Pikachu,
Duty, Modern Warfare 3,
Assassin's
there's
Creed Mirage.
Assassin's Creed Mirage. I keep forgetting about that game. Fuck. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about. Although Andrew, you definitely want to talk about Starfield, but I was going to talk about what are some good games this year that have already been forgotten.
Pikmin
That
4.
fuck you.
What? What? How dare you?
Fuck, fuck, fuck you and
Uh,
fuck Pikmin.
well, I do think like I don't know about forgotten necessarily, but this year has been so packed, and we're so lucky for it. But it's been so packed that it almost feels like several games we were definitely looking forward to feel like they came out last year.
Yes.
Like I know shit, and I realize this is totally subjective, but I know shit was saying like, "Oh, this is like my favorite." Again about Starfield, I was like, "Oh, I've gotten really into Starfield. I haven't gotten this into an RPG since Final Fantasy 16." And Elise was all like, "That was like 2 months ago." I was like, "You're right."
Yeah. Yeah, it was 2
There's
months
been
ago.
so many things. I think it's on I think it's on Game Pass too, and I plan to play it, but I forgot that Star Wars Jedi Survivor came out this year.
I don't think EA, because EA has it on EA Origin or wherever the fuck their stupid launcher bullshit service is. I don't think they put it on their service yet.
It's
It'll be
on
there.
it's on Game Pass, but you have to play through the Origin downloader. Like
Oh,
you
on PC?
yeah, if you play.
I don't think it's on Xbox.
Oh, okay. I
I
clicked
don't
on it and it
think.
said that I had to open it through Origin if I
Through
wanted to play it,
Origin,
but
right.
it says Game Pass next to it.
Right, because EA Origin games are on Game Pass Ultimate, which, I have, but
Right.
I'm pretty sure Jedi Survivor's not fucking on the Xbox console version. I don't think.
Interesting.
I don't think.
Okay. Well, I'll have to check that out. But
I'm fairly certain about that.
point is that came out this fucking year. And it's
Yeah,
like
it did. It came out in
feels
April, dude.
yeah,
It
it
was supposed
feels
to be
like
like
it was last year.
February, and it came out in April or something. And it does feel like it was last year. Here's the biggest one. Let's just start all the way back in January. Hi-Fi Rush. It's already getting overshadowed. It's already forgotten about.
Right.
And I know a
It's
lot
not
of
gonna
people are
win
like,
any
it's
awards.
Goaty, it's Goaty, it should totally be Goaty. And I'm like, okay, first of all, Hi-Fi Rush is great, but it's not that good.
Yeah.
But it is doomed to be forgotten. It was a shadow drop, which there's no hype, there's no leading up to the release of it, but it's still a damn good game. It was like the people talk about how like Starfield, like even Microsoft said like this is the beginning of a sea of change of blah blah blah, the beginning of all the great Game Pass. I'm like, fuck you. While Hi-Fi Rush came out this year, that was the beginning. Look, like it was basically, there was this super backhanded compliment by like someone high up at Xbox that basically said, yeah, forget about fuck Redfall, like you sweep it under the rug. This is the start of the big wave of first party. It's like, no, it was Hi-Fi Rush. Y'all forget
Right.
Hi-Fi Rush was really. And there's a really, I almost don't want to put him on blast, but maybe I won't. It was pointed out to me that during a stream in February, someone was talking about the success of Hi-Fi Rush to Phil Spencer in an interview, and Phil Spencer kind of brushed it off and immediately started whining about how no one was talking about Age of Empires 2 remake and how it had a huge, high Metacritic score, and like there's no press for it, there's no anything. Everyone's talking about Hi-Fi Rush, but it's like, why are we all forgetting about Age of Empires 2? And I'm like, because Phil, there's not many fucking mid-40s ass gamers who fancy playing Age of Empires on a fucking gamepad. It's like it's a mouse and keyboard title, buddy.
Right, and I like Age of Empires a lot. Like I really loved Age of Empires 2 especially. But who the fuck gets excited about RTSs anymore?
The other good point. You
Like-
do apparently with Pikmin.
Pikmin's not an RTS.
Yes, it is.
Eh,
Pikmin is 100% an RTS.
Isn't
Yes.
they follow you around and you fucking launch? It's more like Overlord.
You tell them where. Well, yes, but you tell them where to go. You grow them, you raise them, pick them, and then you tell them to go do stuff
But that's not
in
like
real time.
But an RTS is more like you have to click and build, and you're building and
You do that in Pikmin though. You gather resources, you build
well,
up stuff.
it's not an RTS a la fucking StarCraft in that realm.
No, not necessarily, right? It's not.
That's what
giant...
I mean. Like since nobody's gotten excited about a fucking RTS since StarCraft 2 came out. How long ago was that? Fucking decade.
Think about it. RT in StarCraft 2 kind of fucking died quickly.
It did. Yeah, it did. It had a huge hype train because everybody that was a young person, fucking when RTSs were the number one game you could play on a PC, were old enough to be able to afford the ridiculous amount of bullshit that they had, the statues and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the hype train was real, and then it died out quick.
Well, the thing is, all those people who were young were able to buy that collector's edition for 2, but guess what? They were now old, and had careers and families, and children.
I know. Why would you ruin your gaming experience by having a human being depend on you?
Exactly. It's so
ridiculous.
So yeah, I think StarCraft 2 hit the problem of like the boomer problem, where it's like people that remember this and care about this can only game for about a couple hours a week.
Yeah.
So sorry.
That's why they should be playing another completely forgotten about series that is probably pretty good, which is the Expanse Telltale series. I think it just finished its releases of the episodes.
So yeah, I have some friends who are like hardcore nerddom, right? They love
the Expanse.
They love the Expanse. They read Wheel of Time.
Okay, well, I'm not that big of a nerd. I love the Expanse.
Play Kerbal Space Program. Play that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, equal parts like NASA nerd and equal parts D&D. They play D&D, have multiple campaigns, own multiple boxes and stuff. Yeah.
Which is how the Expanse started.
So they love the Expanse. Tried to get me to watch it. I never have time to watch anything though.
That's
But
too
yeah, so
bad.
there was a Telltale
Mhm.
or Telltale style series. I forgot this existed.
Yeah, I have plans to someday play it. Just because again, I like The Expanse a lot. I read all the books, like the TV show a lot too. Um, but I totally forgot that it was coming out. I just like it got overshadowed by Starfield for one. I just feel like there's so many how many massive game. You know, what's another game that we talked about? Like you specifically were like, "Oh, I love this
Mm.
game," and then I feel like I saw or I heard about it for like maybe a week, and then it was just gone. Is Lies of P?
It's not out yet.
It's but it's just like it's out of the cultural zeitgeist. It's just like fucking gone.
Well,
Like
because
it's
they had the huge demo, and
right.
they have not really talked about it since.
It's just fucking gone.
It's
Like
not gone. It just hasn't released yet. It's about to release in 2
right.
weeks.
I'm still like, shouldn't there be more hype for this fucking game? It's coming out in 2 weeks.
Shouldn't there have been more hype for Armored Core 6
Maybe, but there's like 6
for
people
being
who fucking get excited about Armor Core 6.
well, Armored Core 6 actually I feel got a resurgence when it came out and people were like doing all their doodles, with the emblems
Right.
and the mech customization, and that sort of like bred a sort of resurgence for it. But like
There was no lead up.
the weird thing about it was how they were fucking dead silent on Armored Core 6's release up until it came out. Like
Right.
they didn't show it off at any game shows. They didn't have any like big press days. They did nothing. They basically were like, it's coming out in August. See you then. Bye.
I mean, look, I don't expect Lies of P isn't like a huge title, so it's not like I expect. I don't know. Fuck it. Like I don't expect it to have 3 months, 6 months lead up like Final Fantasy 16 or
Mm.
Starfield had. But after the demo came out, and then it's just like silence for what? How long has that been?
2 months.
Jesus, everything this. I thought it was gonna be like 4 months.
No, the demo came out at
Truly,
like the demo came out in like June, dude.
yeah, truly. This year has felt super long. Like everything feel like
And it was like a 5-hour demo too. It was really
yeah,
good.
it was a long demo. The other day, someone was all like, "Yeah, do you think Resident Evil 4 remake is going to be like Game of the Year contender?" And I was like, "Well, that came out last year." Like I'm
No, it
getting
came out in
old.
March, Andrew.
I know. Yeah, March is last year now. Okay.
Can we talk about that game for a little bit here? Where it's like I feel like that game kind of disappeared after release. Like
I-
we all kind of were expecting to hear about DLC for it, like separate ways or more mercenary stuff, and nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Something that shocked me about it is I stopped midway through my second playthrough on it. And like the original, I must have played 20 damn times. Like on GameCube, I beat
Yeah.
it like 14 fucking times, and then
Here's
I
the
played
weird
every
thing
other
is
release.
I am not shitting on the remake, but the game does not have the replay value of the first one.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure
For
why.
whatever reason. I don't my only thing I can say is, and here's people are immediately going to disagree with this. Immediately clap back with but the knife parry, and I love the knife parry. I do. It doesn't feel as snappy as the original game.
Hmm.
Like the original game had a very snappiness to like the movement flow, stop and pop that the
Right.
new one doesn't. Now, like people say, well, the original control sucked. The new one's so good. I'm not even arguing that. I'm not even arguing that. It's just the fact that like the weight of Leon and the general movement and vibe and flow of that game is more atmospheric and moody and cinematic, where the original is a fucking arcade game.
Right. Yeah, I guess that would be what I'd
It
point
is
out as like,
run, stop, pop, go, boom, 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 boom.
yeah, stun, kick, run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the and I'm only saying this because like I don't fucking know. I don't have an answer otherwise.
Yeah, I don't know why it it also seems like Capcom made all the money it was going to make and then just didn't care about any support beyond. Like, they were just like, "All right, we're moving on."
Well, here's the weird thing that's been kind of pointed out. It usually takes about a goddamn year for DLC for some of these RE games. like 8 and 7. 7 was 11 months, and like 8
Right.
was like a whole year or more. And 2, I can't remember when the DLC for 2 came out, but it's like it might just be a whole fucking year before we get DLC for RE4. Which point would be cool, but it'll still be like, fuck this game. Yeah, I remember this, I think.
You know what it is like genuinely this year is so packed that like I don't know how are you even going to remember the controls?
Right.
Like when you um I'm trying to think of like other games that came out fucking Forspoken.
Forspoken.
Forspoken
Remember
came out this
that
year. When
game?
did it came out
That came out in January.
yeah,
Remember? I think maybe
yeah,
February.
January 24th.
Does anyone remember Forspoken? Square sure doesn't.
Nobody remembers it. It's gone forever.
I'm pretty sure the DLC for that game got canceled, if I remember correctly, and the studio's been shut down, which I called. I called when the game was announced. I was such a party pooper. I was like, this is the last game the studio will ever make. And I was fucking Ian Malcolm over here. Boy, do I hate being right all the time.
You know the thing is I never played it, so I have no real opinion on it. The stuff I saw on it wasn't terribly compelling. Not the shit that people were complaining about, like the talking, like the witticisms and shit. Like none
And
of that
you could
bothered me.
literally had a slider where you could like turn it like you could make it like you could turn it off. You could make it only
Right.
for critical information. You can make it like rare. Like there was way you could literally like choose how much banter you wanted, which was
Mhm.
kind of a neat feature. But here's the real problem with that game is that the combat did not feel great. Like it kind of did. Like when you fucking finagled it to like learn how to like swap between magic styles with the shoulder button, so you just be like, you
Yeah.
just be like doing all this fucking ninja magic, you know, like I don't know, like because like that's how it is. It's like she Naruto,
Yeah, she
whatever.
does all the hand movements that yeah.
Right, because there's no actual melee comp. There's no holding a weapon in the game.
This is a
Um,
serious aside, but did you see the D&D movie that came out?
yeah. The Chris
Uh
Pine one, it was
yeah.
great.
So in the behind the scenes stuff, the kid who plays the sorcerer was talking about how like on set they were having to make up all the movements for
Hmm.
how to do the stuff, and he just purposely tried to make it as complex as possible to piss off the visual effects guys. And as he's giving this interview, it just cuts to the lead visual effects artist, and he's just sitting there shaking his head, staring into camera, but like just pissed. Like it just got to the point where I was trying to do things that I thought would trip up the visual effects guys, and then it just cuts to the visual effects guy just like looking mad. That's what Forspoken is. It's just pissing off visual effects artists everywhere.
The mocap artists, the in-betweeners who
It's
have to like
fucking
take the mocap data and then like make it smooth in betweens. But yeah, like the problem with Forspoken was that like there's no weight to the combat. Like
mm,
you'd fly to an enemy and you'd basically be like you'd be hitting this thing and there's no hit stun. There's no like registering it because you're swinging, a club made of fire
like
or
Monster
whatever.
Hunter.
Well, no, because there's hit stun in Monster Hunter. There's not hit stun in this game.
It doesn't have like a ton of Monster Hunter didn't have a lot of impact to its combat though. Like
Oh, it does,
never felt
especially
like it.
especially with the two-handed weapons.
Well,
The
I
the
never did.
blades not so much. Like the dual blades is like yeah, you're kind of just sitting there,
Yeah,
just like
well, that's what I always used, I guess. But
always kind of just chopping it. But yeah, like it just felt the combat felt like you weren't getting great feedback in the
uh,
combat for Forspoken. I think that's what really killed it. Now, of course, a lot of other chuds out there would say there's other elements of the game, that made it go broke, so to speak, disregarding all the money in the world that Barbie made. But no, I think it's just it didn't look that interesting. The banter was a little off-putting, and really like it's kind of goes back to the fact that like the trailers were kind of bad
awful.
leading up to
Yeah,
this.
the trailers were bad. They didn't sell it at all. Like I
The
can't
same
tell
thing
you.
happened kind of to some other Square games too, where like a lot of their trailers were kind of awful.
Yeah, I wonder who they used for like their trailers this time around.
They need to get fired. That's what they need to do.
They didn't do a good job. They need to improve. I don't want anybody to get fired.
Because like when you really think about it, like remember Guardians of the Galaxy? There was like a video game for that, and it was really good
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah.
But
Apparently, it was great.
all the trailers and demonstrations just made everyone think, ah, it's a fucking Avengers
Yeah,
spinoff. Like, yeah, it's gonna be crap like that, and it wasn't.
and apparently, it's like it's legit funny. Like there's
Yeah,
a lot of humor into it and stuff. Hey, you know another game that came out this year was the Dead Space remake.
yeah,
That was also in
and
January.
Metroid Prime remastered.
That's right. That was a shadow drop, wasn't it? Where
That
they
was a
like,
shadow drop in
yeah,
February. Yeah,
um,
January, February had Dead Space and Metroid Prime remasters come out. And I mean, I have a weird tangent with Dead Space Remake. I bought it on PC and it was having optimization issues like crazy. So I got it like refunded. It got refunded at least. Played it on PS5 and it was okay. My biggest problem with Dead Space was like it's not fucking scary.
th- the first time I
It's
played it way back in the day, it kind of was
it's
like there was
it's almost too telegraphed. Like
now definitely, yeah,
it's like okay, like Isaac, I think this is the guy's name, right?
yeah.
Isaac, you got to shut off the two valves in this room to get the power cell to come out. Cool. I'm like, I'm gonna shut off this second valve. Watch, things gonna pop out right when I do this. Boom, clockwork.
Isaac.
Every fucking time. You gotta go over here to press this button. Nothing's gonna happen. Trust me. Something's gonna happen. Like the lights are gonna go off and things are gonna come out of the vents. Beep. Things come out of the vents. I'm like, yep.
I mean, so when it first came out, the first time you run into the monsters is legitimately pretty like, oh, what the fuck? I think like after the second one, I don't think Dead Space could be scary anymore. It's sort of like how the first zombie games were sort of scary, but then after that, like zombie games just became like fun, like dumb fun.
And
Where
the
you
thing
just
is, like, it's still a really good game.
it is good, yeah.
I don't actually have an issue otherwise with Dead Space, other than it wasn't scary, and it was a little, I would say, like a little lacking in enemy variety. Like things come out, shoot off the limbs, move on.
Yeah.
That was kind of the other problem. Like maybe it was too. I don't know. I it's one of those things where it's just kind of like I can't say a lot negative about Dead Space remake. It was very good. I spent $70 on it, but I wasn't scared. And it kind of bummed me out to the point that I gave up halfway through. Like too much other stuff came out, and I just was like, whatever. I'll get back to it. No, I won't.
I remember the original. Well, that's sort of what happened to a lot of people I know that played Dead Island too. Everybody was all excited for Dead Island for fucking ages, and then a week
Dead
after it came
Island
out, nobody was
2,
talking
that's
about it ever again.
right. Yes. Dead Island 2 came out and sold like what, a couple million copies or something?
Yep. And that was in April 21st. But yeah, like it,
And that was hyped for like a decade or something.
yeah. Everyone was losing when that trailer dropped like a few months before it came out, like people lost their goddamn minds over
Right,
like
because
finally, yes.
they had the announcement trailer, game went dark, got canceled, lost publisher, started up at another blah blah blah, was fucking in the gone, right? And then they had that trailer last year that got everyone fucking hyped.
Right.
Oh shit, it's back, it's real, we're gonna be playing it soon.
And then it went dark again. And then all of a sudden it's out. And
I mean, it sold a
a
couple
week
million
later,
copies, but
yeah, but a week later, like nobody was talking about it. I don't think I didn't see anybody really talking about it even the day it came out.
I feel like the same shit happened with Back for Blood.
Yeah, well, Back for Blood, like I really loved Left 4 Dead, and Back for Blood I played for like a week. Yeah, like a week. I played the shit out of Back for Blood, and then yeah,
Played like
it's
a
just
couple
gone.
days.
Yeah, and Left 4 Dead we played for a fucking decade. Like Left 4 Dead, we'd go back to play that shit all the time. Yeah, Back for Blood really fell out. Dead Island, like I'm trying to think, like, oh, one that just kind of like it was such a big deal when it came out, and then now you forget that it came out this year. Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, Kenny won't forget.
Well, Kenny never forgets about the things he's a fan of. Man is a dedicated fan. But that was in February.
It made $1 billion.
I know.
It's
And
actually
yet,
one of the biggest selling games of the year, actually.
right. And who is still talking about it?
No.
There's no zeitgeist for it at all.
Yeah,
Like,
and I've gotten into it with him because he thinks that the game didn't get rated high enough. Like it should absolutely be GOTY contender stuff in his mind. And here's the thing. There's an elephant in the room, and we have to address it. He thinks it didn't get high, and I say it got rated very highly. What are you talking about? And he's like, it should have been like Tears of the Kingdom level of ratings, but it only didn't because of the shithead who owns the IP. And I'm like, I don't even think that's fucking true. Personally, here's the thing: I haven't played the game. I literally got a PS5 with a dick drive PS5, so that I could buy a used copy and play it on my PS5. That was the whole intention of getting a dick drive PS5. I know dicks scare the author, especially on certain other people. But
the thing is
like I just never got around to it, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. I'm sure it's good.
Anybody who thought that Rowling's fucking reputation online was going to affect this game or any of the Hogwarts, like Harry Potter, is online too much. Like 99.9% of people don't know what the fuck J.K. Rowling looks like, sounds like.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think it affected the review scores.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I don't. It has like an 88 on Metacritic or something. I'm gonna pull this shit up right now. That's really fucking good. I can't buy that. I can't buy that it's being forgotten or it's being kind of like left out of the discussion for GOTY because of the author being a shithead.
Right.
And it's got an 85, the highest rating I can find on Metacritic,
which is still fantastic.
85 on Xbox and it's like 84 on PS5. It's fucking great. I don't know. To me, it's like this is a very good game. 18 positive, 3 mixed reviews.
And those will be the ones that brought up Rowling at all.
I mean, looking at it, as the lowest review is a 6, and it says it's a great adventure, but only for those Harry Potter fans who rarely play video games. Okay. I'm looking at the other negative review. It's littered with small. Well, I remember this. Oh God, I remember this. Oh man, do you remember? Okay, this review got quoted on Twitter and it blew up. I'm gonna read you this. Be very clear, chat. Listen to me very clearly. I'm not, if you're driving and not paying too much attention, I am not saying what you think I said. Listen clearly here. Hogwarts Legacy is, quoting, Hogwarts Legacy is littered with small niggles, which, when stacked together, make the game feel like it was released over a decade ago. And it's that one word in particular. Everyone's like, excuse me, what? I mean, it's a real British
word,
yeah.
And it is an uncommonly used English. It's a formal way to call an annoyance.
Yeah, small annoyances. I don't know why they didn't just say small annoyances. They had to go with that.
Yeah, because it happens in England, so
They just said that the castle is large enough to explore. The monotony of repeating quests and tasks make the game feel last gen and boring over time. Okay. Seems like a legit complaint. It's far from a bad game. It's a great gift to everyone who adores Harry Potter and can enjoy Ubisoft style gameplay structure. Same time, it's hard to call new Avalanche software project as some kind of masterpiece because it's quite clear the game suffered from development hell and is a bit on the nose with the chase of modern AAA trends. None of them are even, the mixed reviews are not in any way addressing the author being a shithead.
Right.
So, and if anyone had any doubt, like this is my position on it, like the author is a shithead. She chose the dumbest hill to die on and humanly possible.
I don't. I just feel like she didn't even choose a hill to die on. You're just listening to a old woman railing at clouds, basically. Thing I don't understand. I don't like.
Right, and too successful, made too much money to be told otherwise. But anyways, yeah, no, I mean it's a great. Here's the thing: it's a great game, right? It's got great reviews, made a ton of money, looks good. I'm sure it's a great game. I don't understand the issue here.
The issue is it just couldn't compete with Lord of the Rings Gollum, which also came out this year.
People will remember that more than they'll remember a lot of the other games we listed.
I forgot
Just
entirely
because of how
about Gollum.
bad it is.
I forgot entirely about Gollum. But we should talk about the good games that got overshadowed.
Let's talk about Bayonetta Origins. Cereza and the Lost Demon. Great. I beat this game. Everyone talks about Platinum needs to make a win. I wish, bro, don't even sit here and at Platinum, for not making, why did Platinum fall? No, they haven't. You're just not buying their games. Bayonetta Origins was a fucking great little adventure puzzle, like action puzzler. And then by the end of the game, it turns into a character action game, strangely. But
it was just so I think it was off-putting for its style more than
it's very much a game of who the fuck was this for?
Right.
Because the type of the atmosphere, the type of game, the story of the game, everything, the gameplay itself, everything about it is nothing like what any Bayonetta fan you would think would want. And that's true.
Right.
But the game's great.
But is it as good as Goodbye Volcano High?
Probably not. Nothing is.
Nothing is. No, truly nothing is.
But no, Bayonetta Origins, great game. Nothing like Bayonetta. It's closer in style to something like a top-down Zelda, or fuck, I don't know, like certain other kind of games. I actually couldn't even. I don't know. It's got like it's got the flair of the best of an indie game style vibes, wrapped up in something that's got more than indie presentation. It's very good. And I played the game and like, this game is forgotten about the day it came out because nobody knew what to make of it. And it's like it's this weird game where like you control Bayonetta, but you also control this demon at the same time. The demon does all the attacking, so you've got like this weird dual character control scheme, but it works. And the story and structure is really cool. Kind of like, again, it's like this weird sort of, I guess, top down Zelda-ish thing to it. It's a really cool game. No one probably played it or bought it, and it's actually very good.
Yeah, honestly think it's one of those it's a departure from what you expect from a Bayonetta.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of an era. Remember in PlayStation 1, there'd be random ass fucking spin-off games?
Yeah.
Like the Misadventures of Tron Bon or something.
Yeah.
Or even if it's not a spin-off, but like something wild. Here's Toomba. What the fuck is a Toomba?
The fuck is a Toomba?
Right, Toomba, right? It's like that. It's in that vein of like, here's this fucking wild out there fucking side project of a game, charming as hell, that released, that would come out randomly in the PlayStation 1 era. That's what Bayonetta Origins was.
I just until you brought it up right now, I didn't remember it at all.
I don't think anyone did.
I'm trying to think, like, there was that Horizon game that came out, but that was VR, and I think all VR shit got overshadowed. Like,
yeah, can we just say PlayStation VR 2 in general?
It's just gone. Yeah.
Came out in February and it's fucking dead already.
What month did Octopath Traveler 2 come out?
I think March.
Yeah, but Octopath Traveler is one of those smaller games that like people who are fans of it really, really love it, and you don't hear a word about the second one.
Yeah, I played the demo for the second one, and I would say like, okay, they definitely seem to they definitely took some issues with the first one to heart and try to improve it, but it's still way too fucking wordy for its own good, for being a pixel art game with little sprites that barely move. Right. Having them drone on and on and on and on and on and on about shit. Not super compelling. I mean, and here's the thing. Here's a real, because Sea of Stars is better than Octopath Traveler in every fucking conceivable way.
And it's getting overshadowed by Starfield right now.
A little bit. Well, I would say for all like the Scrimblow Bimblows and all the retro heads like me, we're fucking loving. The game just announced today. The game sold 250,000 copies.
No shit.
So that's an indie game that was funded by people like me. So we already bought it. We already owned the game. and it came out on Game Pass and PlayStation Premium day one, and
Yeah,
yet
it's a pretty big win.
it still has sold 250,000 copies in a week, despite all of that, and it's the #1 selling game on the eShop right now.
Wow. That's a huge win for an indie.
I think honestly, I think the Switch is carrying a lot of it because it like, a lot of the official trailers were put in Nintendo Directs, and it really speaks hard to a lot of Nintendo fans and Scrimblow Bimblows. It really fucking hits the heart of like, the person who doesn't play anything but a Switch. And they went and bought it because it's like $30 or $35 or something like that. And it's really fucking good. And like I said, it's sometimes some people get mad when people like me bring this up. I'm like, it's better than Octopath in every conceivable way. The art style's better, the graphics are better, combat system's better, the story's probably better. I don't know. I didn't go through all of Octopath 2. But
One thing that I think
the
about,
music
James,
is better. The music's really good in Octopath, but
when a game is a budget price, when it's like $30 and it's also really good, it feels like the biggest win. Like it's almost like Christmas. Like, have
yeah.
you ever noticed like where you get it? Like, I can't remember the last time. Maybe it was like DS Crystal Chronicles game where like I got
Yeah.
it for a budget price, and I got it just to like fuck around, and then I ended up really liking it, and I put like too much time into that game. Like it wasn't that fucking good, but it was pretty good. And it just felt like, I don't know, like a secret because
Yeah.
you just enjoy it that
Yeah,
much.
like you were in on something. Like
I love shit like that.
it's funny because they just had like this past week or two. They had Shredder's Revenge DLC come out. It was
Oh,
$8.
right. Yeah.
It's not a lot, but like it kind of reminds me of last year when Shredder's Revenge came out, and it's like here's the best Ninja fucking Turtles game ever. It's like $20. It's just fucking quality start to finish.
It's just like one of those things where it almost makes you question why every other game is $70. Because it's just like they did say, it's like you don't need AAA graphics and bullshit to be like a really good game. You need
Yeah.
style. Gotta have style.
You need style, because that's the
Right.
thing is like with Sea of Stars, as I'm going through it, I'm kind of nearing the end of it now. It's like I don't remember like it's wowed me. I've been wowed graphically more by this than most of the other video games that came out this year.
All right.
Like seeing RE4 on PC, that was pretty like holy fuck, right?
Right.
That was a pretty big wow moment. 16 didn't wow me as much as I thought it would. Like say some of the boss battles did, but like the running around the areas was kind of like, it looks okay.
Well, it's really 14. Like a lot of the
Yeah,
running around feels like 14. It
feels like
feels
I'm
like they
just
built an
just
MMO world for you to run around in.
yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Like and even Street Fighter 6 is like it looks good, but like sometimes it looks a little too washed out.
Right.
I get that's part of the effect and stuff, but like yeah, Sea of Stars, I'm like I've been like, wow, this shit looks good. Like stop and admire the scenery in a 2D game because it's just that good.
Well, it's been a long time since we've had a hyper stylized game that you want to just like stop and look at the art style. You want to stop and look at the style.
Mhm.
Um, and sometimes that like art style doesn't have to be super detailed, like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be. Um, but it's been a while since that. Like Starfield, again, very pretty game, but like doesn't have necessarily a ton of style. Like it's
Mhm.
just going for a realism.
Yeah.
Um, and I will take an art style over a realistic looking game every single time.
Yeah.
Um, if Starfield had fuck, I just had the name of the starts with an S, like the more it's like the Morbius or Mobius art style or whatever.
Oh, Sable.
Sable. If Starfield was in a Sable-esque art style, I would probably think Starfield was a prettier game.
Give the modding
Starfield,
community a year.
and I'm here for it. The thing is like Starfield has a bunch of really pretty stuff in it. Like there's pretty
Mhm.
views and shit like that. And I like the way the ships look and stuff. But realism versus a defined like chosen art style I don't think realism wins ever.
Yeah.
God of War. Look at God of War. If God of War is I would say it is a beautiful, photorealistic take on a fantasy setting in a way. I would like it a lot more if it was just like if it looked like an old, I don't know, Greek, fresco or whatever. You
Oh,
know what
I
I mean?
think
Like,
there's something to be said where like God of War 3, if you remember that game on
not off the top of my
PS3,
head.
like
Like, I
it
can't picture
almost
it.
it like, and some people will say like it looks better than current God of War because it's a little it's more stylized. It looks
Oh,
closer to like almost like a big fucking looks like concept art come to life.
mhm.
Where 2018 Ragnarok, as good as they look, and they look amazing.
They do look amazing.
Sometimes like because they're going so hyper real with it and a little more like gritty and grounded, it doesn't have that like holy weird shit, like holy dumb fuck where like you're on the back of Gaia fighting Poseidon, who's got like 6 water horses like all like charging in front of you, and he's just throwing these giant chains at it, and it's all like
Right.
fucking wild, right? So
It's just over the top.
even like the craziest battles in Ragnarok don't have the nuttiness that 3 did. Where 3 was because 3 had like it was still like the static camera or the camera that barely panned over an area. It was still like old style.
Right.
So everything was just like hyper fixated on making shit look like concept art. It didn't look like Greek painting or Greek architecture or Greek whatever pottery.
Yeah.
It just looked like concept art come to life.
Well, I think a good example in my mind is like you look at Prince of Persia Sands of Time, and then you look at Prince of Persia like Warrior Within.
Mm.
And granted they're kind of vastly different games, and but
Came
point
out
is
a year with each other.
yeah, but Sands of Time has like style.
Sands of Time is still going for like a fairy tale, and Warrior Within is going for was it a drowning pool music video?
Yeah, it's going for like gritty. I don't know. I don't want to shit on realism
Oh,
as
I
a
do.
whole. I mean, our preferences are pretty clear. We like stylized, games, but um, I think realism is plenty impressive. I'm not saying like it's bad to do realism. I'm just saying,
Yeah. I could pivot further and say I don't like the way Sonic Superstars looks.
really,
With the 3D 2.5D, I think it looks significantly worse than Sonic Mania.
well,
And
yeah,
Izuka, the head of Sonic team, showed his ass and said like he doesn't think Sonic. Some people say, well, he was just talking about Sonic fans in general. Whatever, fuck him. He says, I don't think in 10 years pixel art will be a viable art style. So we have to make it 3D to be appealing to to our fans. I'm like, fuck you. Like what?
Mm,
No, just
eh,
no. You are so fucking out of touch.
I think you and I have an affinity for pixel art.
I have 14 and a half years under my belt of working in an education system, and I can tell you right now, no kid ever gave a flying fuck if a game was 2D or 3D.
No, that's fair,
They
but
play Minecraft, and that looks like a Saturn game.
everything looks like a ball sack.
Like, they don't care. They play Roblox and Minecraft, and like, granted, that's not 2D, but they also play. Do they play Terrarium? Yes. Do they play Stardew Valley? Yes. They don't care. They do not care.
All right, I want to end on an
This is
overshadow.
not a Utes versus a boomer thing.
I want to end on a. What do you think is the upcoming game in the next couple of months that's going to be the most overshadowed by? Like what do you expect to
That
be
isn't
good?
out.
Yeah, that isn't
Okay.
out. Like so, from here, say rest of September, October. Like, what do you think is going to be the game that'll be overshadowed by various big releases? But you think it'll be like it's going to be the good game?
Star Ocean, the Star Ocean 2 remake.
The second story?
Yeah, second story R.
Really?
Yeah, look. I mean, granted, I did just kind of shit on Octopath 2 a little bit there. Though this one's going a little bit different from that, but yeah, look at the trailer for that. And I'm like, this comes out like November 2nd or some shit. It's nobody fucking remembers this game's coming out. I gotta go even deeper cut, and I could say the recently just came out Rhapsody remake. a musical adventure for the Switch. Hey,
I think the Mario RPG for the Switch is going to be the overshadowed one.
no, are you kidding?
Yeah, I sort of do.
Every fucking scrimblow, bimbo, Nintendo bootlicking asshole on YouTube is going to fucking fillet that game
I think it's
on
going to be a
YouTube.
flash in the pan.
They're going to forego their monetization, and so they can suck the game off in real time on on YouTube. Are you kidding me? No, there is no possible way. That game is destined for stardom.
You know what game is going to get totally overshadowed, even though it'll probably be like a fantastic game, but I think it'll be totally overshadowed as Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora comes out
Yes!
December 7th.
Yes, yes,
We've totally forgotten. People
yes.
will
We
be
are
like, "It should be
talking.
game of the year."
I was talking about this on my stream last night because I'm like, I don't think anyone's interested in this game, but me and Max are gonna have a great fucking time playing this co-op.
We're gonna have a great time with it.
They just had a PC trailer come out. I'm like, wow, it actually looks really good graphically. Like, holy shit. High-end
very
PC
pretty.
settings are great. I'm like, okay, me and Max are
Nobody gives
basically
a
playing.
fuck about Pandora.
Right. But I mean, it's like, okay, you're going to play Far Cry, Far Cry Avatar, and the whole campaign is co-op. Me and Max are going to have a grand old time. No one else is going to play this game. I'm like, Ubisoft, you need to hook us the fuck up. Like, give Max an interview with Big Jimmy C. Like,
Could you imagine? I don't think you could. How many times would he jizz his pants talking to James Cameron?
I mean, I'm
Isn't
sure he would.
James Cameron's his
I'm
number one.
okay.
That's his
Yeah,
number one
yeah,
director.
100%. But I'm like, I'm sure he would not be all. I'm sure he wouldn't like flub it. He wouldn't be like, no. He would know. He would know how to ask the good questions. I think.
I'm sure he would, but like he would be losing it inside.
Yeah. Oh my god. And Ubisoft, if they have the ability to do that for that game, like they should definitely, because he likes Avatar. I like Avatar. I'm kind of in the boat of like, look, Avatar is a great fucking movie going experience. Just don't watch it at home because it's not. It's not a
Meant
home.
for a big
It's
screen.
not a
Yeah.
home viewing. You gotta go to a big fancy theater and put on the glasses and be transported. Aside from screaming naked gorillas, losing their shit about pronouns. You want real escapism? Go watch an Avatar movie in 3D with like the best possible screen you can. That's escapism.
So you're saying you want to watch it at the AMC Burbank?
Oh, that's bro, I fucking did.
Yeah, the best screen you could possibly
I
get.
fucking did.
It recently got blown up because Christopher Nolan said it was the best screen too.
Oh,
It's the
did
best.
he?
Yeah, someone was all like, "Oh, well, where were you be watching?" I guess he went and watched Oppenheimer at like 6 or 7 different screens, and he's like, "Every time I see a movie at the Burbank IMAX, it's the best screen, or the Burbank AMC, it's the best screen in Los Angeles," and just blew it up. Like they had a huge line for all the run of Oppenheimer because he was like, "Yeah, that's the place to see it."
Yeah.
So apparently, if you're in Burbank or near Burbank, that AMC in downtown Burbank is the best one to go to.
Mm-hmm. But no, I actually enjoy. I enjoy Avatar. I'm not like, I don't have any memorabilia. I don't have like any weird shit hanging. I don't fucking paint myself blue on the weekends or anything. I
It's too
just
bad.
yeah,
Lose your color.
look, it is. But I'm like, yeah, I enjoy the movies. They're a good time. You know what? And it's funny because like Max and Kenny were like, oh, there was too much. I'm like, I kind of loved watching it in 40.
I
It was
think the movies are
it was
fine. I don't
it
know.
was it was obnoxious as hell, but it was enjoyable as shit. Like, this movie's a fucking ride anyways. Just go all the way. Put the motion sensors on.
Now I just really want Max to be in a room with James Cameron, asking him all the questions we've always wanted to ask James Cameron.
I mean, we'd ask her like fucking nerd shit though about like, oh, how do you get this shot? How do you get that shot?
He's a big fucking nerd. He'll love that shit.
I love that shit. I know exactly what I would. I mean, okay. Here's, you want to know what I would ask him? I would ask him nerd shit about Avatar. If we had, they probably like keep it about Avatar. I'd be like, all right, cool. In the Fermi paradox, there's a section that goes over, I forget the term. I think it's convergent evolution, which is to say that what is the possibility that all evolutionary life follows a similar path to here? And I'm like, was that a factor in creating the life on Pandora? Because at the end of the day, we're talking about an alien planet that has bipedal you know, they're 9 feet tall, but they're bipedal, 2-eyed, you know, X amount of limb, you know, people walking around, and they have fishes and they have horses and they have
And
they have
he's
things that
gonna
are very similar to our own. It's different, but it's very similar. And if you want to go into nerdiness about this, I'm like, I think it's convergent evolution. Is convergent evolution like the answer here, or is there some deeper meaning behind it,
I
or is
think
it just audiences are dumb?
he's gonna look you in the eye and he's gonna say that it's just because he likes cat girl porn.
No,
He just loves hentai.
I remember asking years ago when the first Avatar movie came out, and I asked this you know, this person I knew at the convention scene, who was a furry. I was like, so what if furries think this? Like, oh, they think it legitimizes them. They feel like the movie speaks to them and it's about them, and like, you know, it legitimizes them. I'm like, I guess so.
Everybody sees themselves in art.
Right?
Everyone sees themselves in art. That's the best. It's both the best and worst thing about art is everybody sees themselves in it.
Yeah.
And the
Well,
moment somebody, it's one of God. I had this film professor, and I can't remember their name for the life of me, but I remember that I was taking a war film class, um, and he's like, we were watching a Korean war film, but from the perspective of a North Korean. And it was an epic Korean war. I mean, it was one of the best war films I've ever seen. And like, I really liked it. But there's this one guy in there who's just kind of like, these are the bad guys. And like, okay, whatever the fuck you think about the history of the
mhm.
Korean War, I'm not trying to debate that, but I'm like, yeah, but this is a movie. Like, yes, the hero was against us historically,
Mhm.
but like it's a story. Like you can like not all stories have to be about your hero.
It's
You know what I mean?
well, it's like people, anti-religious people watching Prince of Egypt. It's like, no, it's a good movie. I
Right.
don't like religious stuff. Don't matter. Trust me.
It's just a good movie.
Just go with it.
But that professor answered him by saying that the best and worst thing about art is we all see ourselves in it. And the moment we can't see ourselves in it, like the moment we can't put our perspective to it,
Mm.
makes you angry. And he's like, if the less educated you are about art, or the less exposed, he said, the less exposed you are to art, the angrier you get when you can't see your point of view in the art.
Mm.
So, one thing to keep in mind if you're ever like, say, like you're trying to explain this piece of art to a parent,
Yeah.
it's the most common between generations.
It's art.
Where you're trying to explain like, oh, it's so crazy because of the internet. Like our generation, younger, like Gen Z, is amazing at seeing like perspectives that we would consider totally foreign, but like Gen Z considers a global perspective easier because of the internet. They'll go watch something and be like, oh yeah, I totally get it, where like older generations would be like, what the fuck is this about? I don't know. So I think that's one of the coolest things.
Well,
I still think
on the
that the
flip
Avatar
side,
game is
though,
going to get fucking forgotten.
oh, it will be, but I'm gonna have a blast either way. I don't care. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely that game where I'm like, I'm gonna have a good time with this game, and yeah, like it's. But you know, the best game that came out this year, which will not win any game awards, is Xenoblade 3: Future Redeemed.
That's correct. I constantly forget about that game.
It's absolutely the best fucking game that came out this year.
By what standard?
Every standard.
All
Well, I
right.
mean,
Good night, everybody.
standard of like, wait, what do you mean
Like it
exactly?
has the best combat. It has the best art
Oh my
style. It
god,
has
the
the best
gameplay is
story.
so good. It's taking 13 years of a series and then figuring out everything that didn't work and everything that did, and then like fucking like cutting the fat, like hyper focusing on the way the gameplay loop is structured is like fucking perfect. Like they fucking nailed it. They fucking nailed
And
it.
it won't win a single award.
No, it won't be. But fuck everyone. Then my award is the only one that matters. Like they fucking nailed making you want to go. Like, okay, so it's open. It's like open environment, right? But
Yeah.
it's like, how many open environment games are you like? I'm gonna go interact with every single thing on there. I'm like, oh, this game will do that. Gives you a reason to go punch every fucking like bunny and horse and whatever soldier roaming around. Why? Because they have this whole fucking experience system that's based upon enemy encounters. Like, oh, beat 5 enemies. So you could be massively over leveled, right? But if you ignored all the bunnies or butterflies in this patch of the world, you'll get AP for killing 5 of them. So you could just run up and like punch 5 of them. All right, boom. You now were able to unlock an ability that you couldn't before because we've now given you a reason to open every chest, punch every enemy, at least 1 to 5 times.
That's incredible.
Go to every section of the map. Everything about the game has a reason for being there, a reason for you to do it. There's payoff for doing all the side quests. There's not a lot. The pacing is really rapid, fast, snappy. It's got all kinds of fucking mind-boggling twists and turns. It finishes up, a 13-year story, a 25-year ongoing saga. Is fucking beautiful.
And yet, it's going to get beaten out by Mario RPG. No, it'll. What do you think? Well, we're going to have a whole episode on what we think will get Game of the Year or some shit.
It's Tears of the Kingdom, but Baldur's Gate might be the sneaky dark horse.
I would rather Baldur's Gate get Tears of the Kingdom or beat Tears of the Kingdom.
There's definitely this sort of spite from a lot of people who just want that to happen.
I would love that to happen. God, that would make Nintendo so mad.
But, fuck them.
And fuck them is right. On that note, we have producers to thank. If you're interested in becoming a patron at any level, please check out patreon.com/YoVideogames podcast. Dude of the week was Windy City Kid. Thank you, Windy City Kid. And our producers for this episode are Mutton Chops Johnson, the Pink Hammer, the Schmidt One, Screwnomi, Koroy35, Hyper Viper 89, Ziggy Z, and Online Persona. Thank you, dudes. We will catch you next time.
Later, dudes.